Hi crafty friends, welcome to Millie Mae Paper Cafe. I'm so glad that you're here joining me today. It's a hot one here in South Carolina, but that's what happens in the summertime, right? And our AC broke down, so I am in a very hot studio right now. So we are going to do a pretty quick live today. I'm going to share a couple of really fun things coming up and a new technique. So it's a very old technique, but it's new to me, or if I saw it way back when, 30 years ago, perhaps maybe I would remember, but as of right now, I was like, I need to try that, and when I was doing it, it didn't spark any memories, so yeah, I just thought we would try that live and see what happens. I don't think it'll be my most favorite technique, but it might be somebody's favorite technique, and I would love to see what you create with it. So, with that being said, I'm going to flip the camera down. I'm going to show you some projects that I've gotten done, and show you what's upcoming for some classes, and then we'll get started on the technique. One moment. Alright, let's see if we can get this into frame a little bit better, a little bit higher. Alright, this is my finished wooden sign, the 12-inch by 12-inch round circular sign. This is the one that I did for Christmas. This is the upcoming class on July 15th at Model A in Tega. There are a few spots left, so if you want to get in on this class and you want to join us and have this really adorable sign, yours will be different than mine, but still will be following all the same techniques as I did here. So it shouldn't be too messy. We'll be working with some Mod Podge and some acrylic paint markers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be at a brewery. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks that you can purchase from Model A, and you're going to go home with a completed sign, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's in 2 weeks, so if you want to hold your spot and specifically hold the sign that you want, you need to get signed up today, and you can do all of that on milliemaepapercafe.com, or you can follow the Facebook event that is going on my Facebook page. So I thought this turned out adorable. I cannot wait to hang it up for Christmas. It is all nice and protected, and I can't wait. It's going to be such a fun class. So get signed up for that. Then I finished my ornament. This is my Santa ornament, and I'll show you like what the kits look like. Let me grab one here. Okay, I'm going to grab Mrs. Claus to go with Mr. Claus. So this is what the package deal looks like. This is what you're going to get. It's a wooden, let's see if we can fix the lighting a little bit on this. It's a wooden piece, and it's all blank, and you're going to get all the pieces that you need to decorate, plus we'll be having tons of different paper there that you can choose from for the background, and this is the kit that you get, and you're gonna go home with this adorable ornament. This class is coming up in November, and while I know that's pretty far away, holiday things get eaten up real fast, so make sure to get it on your calendar. This class is gonna be down in Rock Hill, and I would love for you to join me. It's $15 for the ornament, and you have a couple different choices. And I do have a limited supply of them, but man, do these make a great gift for your neighbor, teachers. I mean, just, it can be a treat just for you to hang on your Christmas tree. So don't forget about that one. You'll find all this information on my website, milliemaepapercafe.com, and find the events on the Facebook, and you'll be all set. Alright, so let's see if we can get some better lighting here now that we're going to play. Like I said, this was an older technique, and I saw it posted just the other day, but it was like posted 11 years ago or whatever. And I thought, you know what? I don't see all the things on the internet, and I'm sure you don't either. So I'd love to be able to share with you an old technique. I want to give it a try, see if it's something that I like. Right now I'm kind of iffy about it, but you know, we'll see. You're not going to know until you try, right? So I'm going to show you how to do this cool technique. We're just going to start with a piece of, not scratch paper, but our card front base, and it's just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have it cut to that because we may be cutting it down a little bit later. We'll see. You can use things like, if you don't have dies, you could use little trays as your shape that you want to use. So you could use that. You could use dies. You could use acrylic blocks. It just depends upon what kind of shape you're looking for. So if that's the first thing, good morning, Barb. The first thing that you're going to want to look for is, what shape do you want to make your background? So this background we're going to go with today is just, I'm going to use this die, and we're not going to actually cut it out. So this is another way that you can use your die for something completely different than just cutting out. So another use for your die, and I love how to make your dies last longer and more. So this one, we're just going to use this small square, and I think to start out, starting small is going to be best. If I had a little bit smaller die at my fingertips right now, I would grab it because it is a lot to fill in, and but that's okay. You'll see where I'm headed with this technique here in just a second. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your blank sheet of paper, you're going to take your die, your acrylic block, your shape that you want to use, okay? And you're going to lay it on your paper, and you're going to take a pencil and lightly trace around this die. You want to make sure that it's, for the most part, pretty straight, because this is going to be the actual front of your card. You could do the inside, you could do the outside. Today, for all purposes intended, we'll just use the outside of it, but you could definitely use the inside of it as well. So, okay, we're going to set those aside, and now you see I have just a very light, a very light image, just of pencil. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get out a stamp that we like. I have one lined up in my MISTI already. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Excuse me. And we're just going to lay it down in there, and I'm going to use my Memento ink because we are going to be using some acrylic markers. You can use whatever you love to color with, but I think for the background itself, you're going to want to use a black alcohol marker. Okay? So we're going to stamp an image of a flower bouquet. I'll do that one more time. Just make sure we got a nice solid image. There we go. And while I have this laid down, I am then going to take my die again because I want straight edges. I'm going to line this up again where I want it. The magnet helps to hold it down. Make sure I have everything lined up. I'm going in with a very thin Copic multi-liner, a 0.2 tip, very small, and I'm going to trace around this die again using this black marker. Now, as you noticed, I just went up to my stamped image. I did not cross that line, so I want to pick it back up where it meets that stamped image. And at this point, this doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. You want to try and get a nice straight line though. I have some little metal pieces on my die still that I haven't gotten cut off, so those are kind of impeding my spot. But I can take a ruler and fix that in a moment. So now I have my, it looks like I just drew a line around my image, but my image is going to pop off of that image a little bit. So I'm just going to straighten this up, which I didn't do a very good job. I know why, because I don't have my cheaters on. There we go. Now maybe I'll be able to see a little bit better. The great thing about this is if you mess up terribly, you can always fix it by going in, and right now it's going to look rough, and that's okay. Trust the process, as they say, right? Okay, I'm just connecting my lines. So what you will do next is you will go in with your favorite alcohol marker, and also, before I do that, I'm going to take my thin marker again and just draw lines so that I'm connecting everything. Everything is connected. Where there's a space where the stamp runs through, I want to just leave that open and blank. So all those little pieces you just want to connect. Okay, so you have as much of a solid square as you could get. Then you're going to go in and you're going to take your favorite black marker, alcohol marker. I happen to have my Olos sitting right here, so I'm going to use those. And what we're going to do is we are going to basically color this whole part black. Then we're going to go in and we're going to get these little pieces, and we're going to get in between those little lines. Wherever there is white showing, you want to basically cover that up, okay? So I always start with the most difficult, and I go in there and I start coloring all those teeny weeny little spots. I say this like I'm a professional at this, and this is the second time I've done it, and it's just been today. So, but what I have found is getting these little pieces and getting in those crevices is the easiest thing to do first, especially if you get shaky after a while when you're coloring, which happens to me. If I color too much, I get a little shaky. So I'm just using that very fine tip of the Olo, and I'm using a very light touch. And it helps if you need cheaters, use your cheaters, because it helps you see a lot better. And so just get into all those little crevices where any white is showing. This part here is going to be a leaf, and that's a leaf up there. So you're just kind of looking through your stamped image, and you're looking to fill in those little tiny spots where blackness is going to go. Then, once you have that all done, you can go ahead and start coloring in this whole background. And this is where I said trust the process, because if you mess up a little bit, this is where you can meet your lines and make sure that they're all straight. If you are uncomfortable with that, bring in a ruler. Give yourself a little bit of wiggle room to make sure it's nice and straight. Use that fine tip for that point, because you don't really want it to bleed into outside this line. So this is what we're going to do. Just color it in. And for the sake of getting out of this really hot studio today, I have done one a little off camera so that you can see how the next step goes. So you're going to color all of that in, and this is what it's going to look like when you're done. Okay? Alright, so now what you're going to concentrate on is the flowers and coloring that all in. We're just going to do a really quick color job. Nothing too fancy or ornate, but we're going to just go in and do a quick color. And if you love to color, this is definitely up your alley. If you are not, coloring for me, I could take it or leave it. It's not my most favorite thing in the world to do, but there's always a time and a place for it, I guess. Alright, so that's it. Here, we'll just go in with the next one up. Add a little bit of shading. I don't know if you can hear it, but I have several fans going in this studio right now because it is a lot warm. Isn't it just, you know, super annoying when the AC goes out on a really hot day? I'm gonna make all this guy darker. But thankfully we were able to get an appointment for later tonight, so I'm happy about that. So luckily it's just a little bit of wait time for getting that air conditioning fixed. Alright, so we'll just get these colored real fast. This is really going to make your bouquet pop out. Now, one thing that I have noticed that kind of has made this my not so favorite technique is I'm such a perfectionist that I can still see my alcohol lines, I can see my coloring lines, and I don't like that. I like a solid thing, but I think there's a way that we can fix that, and we'll try that here at the end. Let's just get it colored for now. We will see if we can kind of cover that up a little bit. So, big plans for the 4th of July. We are just going to kind of hang low and maybe go to a couple of little things going around in our area. So that should be fun. It's been a very long week, so I'm looking forward to just kind of a more quiet weekend. I have some company coming in on Sunday that will be here for some time, and I'm super excited about that. We just put a revolving door on our front door because now we'll have lots of company coming, so I'm really excited to have some company here. And so that will be a good time. And of course, gotta get some crafting done during that time. And my class is coming up on the 15th, so that will be a lot of fun to have some of my company come to and join me for that. We have fireworks tonight, and we have fireworks tomorrow night. Just realized that there's a big white spot in between these bows here. So I'm going back in with my black. There we go. And let's see, let's do... I want a real colorful bouquet of flowers here. So I'm not, when it comes to alcohol markers, I'm not a snob. I don't just have one. I have a lot of different companies. Do you have a favorite alcohol marker? If you do, leave it in the comments and let me know. I like them all. I think they all have some good points. Alright, I get real quiet when I color because I'm concentrating so hard. Especially getting in all these little teeny tiny crevices. Okay. So if I was a professional colorer, this would, you know, I would be more happy with it, but because I'm still working on my coloring skills. It's not my favorite thing right now. Let's see how dark this is. That's good. But like I said, perhaps there is some way that we can kind of zhuzh it up here when we're all done. Alright, now just gonna add a little bit other greens too. There we go. Okay, now the Winkastella must come in. We need a little bit of sparklies. So we're just gonna get some sparkles going on these flowers, help them pop out a little bit more. One more. All right. So there we go. We've got that. I want to go in and straighten up my lines a little bit. Go in with my little microphone. Linda, it is so good to see you, to hear you, to be with you. Thank you for joining me. Yes, this is a new to me old technique. I don't believe I've ever seen this before, and so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna give it a shot on live and see what it does and how it looks. And it's not my favorite, but I think it's definitely something that you could work on and it could become a really awesome technique to do. And that's what I want to share with you guys, is just fun things to try. Not every technique is going to be your favorite, and that's okay. But definitely something to be like, oh, I could give that a shot and see if it and you don't need anything special. You can use your stuff in your stash. The technique that I saw online was that she used an acrylic block to do hers and traced that out. And I thought, you know, that's such a great idea, because we all have acrylic blocks just laying around our scrapbook room and our craft room, and might as well put them to good use if you don't use them a whole lot anymore. So then you just go in and you crisp up your lines. Make sure your coloring is all done just the way you like it. And if you get rogue and go off a little bit, then you just go back in and fix it again. Like I said, probably not my most favorite technique, but I'm really glad that I tried it to see if I liked it, and what I can do to make it my own, right? So I think what I'm going to do here is go back to this marker, because it's just getting bigger and bigger. Alright, I'm going to stop while I'm still ahead. It's better than what it was before. Everything's crisp. It's going to be fine. Alright, and then I'm just going to take my scissors quickly and cut out this one that I was working on off camera. Different scissors. And I'm just going to give this a real rough, fast, quick cutout, because I want to use this as a mask, kind of. I want to kind of take away a little bit of that the line from the alcohol markers, because I don't want to add any more color or any more black to it. Of course, if I kept coloring and made it more saturated and stuff, it would be better. But this card, I wanted it just to be a quick card, so I'm just gonna go with what I know. Alright, girls in Florida, is it hot there too? It is crazy hot here. My kiddo starts band practice today, so she is off and they will be outside for a couple hours, so ugh, not ideal. Alright, like I said, I'm just doing this to do a quick little cutout. I want to use this as a mask to put on my card, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I'm going to cover up this, and then I'm going to go over to my stash and grab something. Never find what you need at that moment. Didn't find exactly what I'm looking for, but it will work for today's purposes. Just to show you what I tried to do off camera before I even started my live was this one. And remember when I said little smaller is probably better? This got really big flower. While I like the look of it and everything, it's just a lot. So I would go smaller if you're going to try this for the first time. Try a smaller stamped image, try a smaller shape for the background. Alright, so I just have some color wash tint. It's very liquidy, and I think what I'm going to do is just add some splatters. 'Cause everything's better with splatters, right? I think so. Then remove that. Oh, that's adorable. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some glossy accents and make my flowers pop even more. Put the cheaters back on. I go through so much glossy accents, it's not even funny. I absolutely love this product. I'm running low again. But just doing a thin layer of this, I think, is really going to make the flowers pop right off. Alrighty. It's very hard to see the splatters, but they did turn out, and they added that little thing, that little touch to it that I was looking for to kind of cover up some of those alcohol marker lines. So, alright, I'm just going in with the Crystal Glaze from Nouveau, going over the top. My flowers have sparkles, and now it's going to have a little bit of a texture to it, and my background has a little bit of texture. This is going to make a really sweet card. And like I said, I'm all about learning different techniques and just knowing that if I really honed in on this one and really did it and really, worked on it, practiced it and stuff like that, I think it would be a fabulous card. You can always go back in and add a background color to it, or pick one of the colors from your flowers to make it pop up. off your card. Put a sentiment. I'm thinking like a ribbon that says with sympathy or thinking of you. I think that would make a really nice cute card. Alright, so again, not my most favorite, but I'm glad I learned it and glad I know it. I'm glad that, when I'm sitting around thinking about like what kind of card am I going to create, what kind of technique do I want to use, that this is something that I could pull back and be like, oh, I could do that. That would make a really quick, fast card. So probably not one that I'd be reaching for a lot, but it is definitely a fun one and one to have in your repertoire. So thank you for joining me with that today. It is getting quite warm in here. I'm going back to show you my sign again for my July 15th class. All of them are going to be a little bit on the different side, but same type of premise, same type of sign, 12-inch sign where you're going to be able to put it all together and make it and take a great sign home with you. And then I lost my little ornament. And this class is coming up in November, on November 8th. We'll be putting together the ornaments, and they are, let's see here, 4 inches. Yep, 4 by 4 inches big, so pretty good size. These make really great Christmas presents or gifts for your neighbors or teachers or friends. I have a whole bunch of different options for you to choose from. You'll get everything that you need to create these, and that will be a really good time. So if you have any questions about anything, head over to my website. You can shoot me an email through there, or you can sign up for classes, and that's milliemaypapercafe.com. Otherwise, I hope that you can get into your nice, cool studio and enjoy some crafty time this weekend, and have a wonderful 4th. I know we're talking about Christmas, but it helps kind of cool you down. So give this technique a try. If you give it a try, take a picture of it, shoot me a little email, or put it up on the Facebook page. I would love to see your designs and how they turned out, and if you liked it. So have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys real soon. Bye!